Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a full breakdown and review of the brand new Glossier Stretch Foundation. This is a brand new skin tint that Glossier just launched. I've been getting so many requests from you guys asking me my thoughts on this, and I'm more than happy to oblige because I'm equally as curious about this product because it really does sound like a product that I could in theory really enjoy. Will it live up to all of its claims? That's what we're going to find out today. If you like these types of first impression reviews, like this video and subscribe if you want to see more videos from me, and let's just jump right into it. All right, before we even get into the foundation, let me first describe what the foundation is all about so you guys even know what to expect from this. So this is called the Stretch Fluid Foundation. There are 32 shades in the lineup. I ended up going with the shade Light 2. I did buy this online at Sephora, so I completely guessed my shade. I haven't swatched this or anything yet, but just looking from the bottle, I actually feel like this is going to be a perfect shade for me. Whenever I buy foundations online, I pretty much always get the ones that are light with neutral undertones, and Light 2 is described as light with neutral undertones. This is a very skincare based foundation. It says that there's 89% skincare in here. What gets me really excited in this little foundation description is that it says that it's a gel cream foundation that leaves the skin looking moisturized with a natural to you finish, formulated to fuse to the skin. Basically what that means is that it's not supposed to cake on top of your face, and it's really supposed to kind of blend into the skin, almost like how skincare would. It's supposed to be crease resistant, transfer resistant, sweat resistant. It's also cruelty free and vegan. For ingredients, there's squalene and glycerin, which is going to help with hydration, wild rosemary and plankton extract, which is supposed to help balance the look of excess shine, help maintain hydration. And then there's amino acid coated pigments, which is the ingredient that they say helps to really fuse with the skin for all day flexible coverage. As for price, it's $46 Canadian for 1 fluid ounce. 1 fluid ounce is typical for most foundations. Honestly, even a little bit more expensive than I would expect from Glossier. The bottle is really nice, really simple. It does have a pump, which is great. It's a glass bottle, so it feels good. It's nothing extraordinary though. It's quite simple and classic, which is totally fine. If you're just stumbling upon this video and you don't know me yet, I do have a drier skin type with texture. So I have texture on my nose, on my chin. All that I really look for is that my foundation isn't going to cling to my dry patches, that it's going to cover up my redness, and then my skin is still going to look like skin. So I want to apply this in 2 different ways. I want to do my fingers on one side and a brush on the other because those are the 2 methods that they suggest to apply the foundation on their website. I'm gonna start with 1 pump, gonna see where that gets me. Texture is quite nice. It's thick in the sense where it's not dripping down my hand, but it's not thick feeling. It does feel very, very gel-like. I'm gonna zoom you guys in real close so you can get a really nice look of how this applies. Let's just start with a little bit and see where this goes. I'm blending this into my skin kind of like I would a moisturizer. Oh, I also prep my skin with moisturizer off camera, so I've got nothing other than just my skincare on. That's typically how I like to test out new foundations, and that's honestly how I normally wear my foundations anyway. The coverage is more than I expected. I thought that it would be more in line with their skin tint, which is a very your skin but better type of skin tint. This gave me, I would say, a solid light medium coverage. It's not super light, but it didn't also completely blank out my face, but all of my redness is totally gone. That applied also so nicely with my fingers. It just melted into the skin. Ooh, that's looking really good. I like that a lot. I actually didn't use even half of the amount that I had on the back of my hand, and that was just 1 pump, and that covered half of my face. So I'm going to use a foundation brush on the other side to see how that applies. I'm gonna just use whatever leftover I have on the back of my hand. The brush application is also really nice, but I do actually prefer the way it applied with my finger. My skin looks a little bit more perfected on this side compared to this side. The brush that I did use is more of a duo fiber style brush. This is the smoothing face brush from Bare Minerals. Depending on the type of foundation brush you use, you're gonna get a little bit of a different effect, but I really do like that I'm able to get such a nice smooth finish with just my fingers, especially for a day-to-day foundation. I think that that's super ideal because then you could just slap it on with your fingers. You don't even have to worry about grabbing another tool. But this is sitting kind of exactly how it's described. It's definitely looking very, very skin-like. It's not sitting heavily on top of my skin at all. It looks the most foundation-y kind of on my nose, which is the driest part of my face. But even there, it's still sitting very, very nicely. It's really hard for any foundation to sit super smoothly on top of texture because texture's kind of impossible to hide. So more than anything, you just need something that's really hydrating, that's going to work with your texture instead of against it. As far as what I can see right now, it's definitely working with my texture. I love the like glow that it's giving. Like it's giving a really moisturized appearance to my skin. I also worry a lot with like very skincare focused foundations that they're going to be almost like too slippery on the face, because if there's too much hydration, it'll just kind of feel like it's going to just slip off of my face. It almost has this like heavy feeling to it. This doesn't feel that way at all. It actually feels very, very, very lightweight and just great. The foundation that this reminds me the most of, I would probably say, would be the Kosas Revealer foundation. That's another foundation that is very skincare focused, that has like a nice like natural finish. I feel like that one has a little bit more coverage compared to this, and it does have a little bit of like a heavier feel to it, whereas this one feels a little bit more skin tint like and more lightweight, whereas the Kosas one feels more like an actual foundation. But the way that it's sitting and looking on the skin is very similar to the Kosas Revealer. I'm gonna finish the rest of the face. I'm gonna apply a little bit of my Glossier Stretch Concealer in the shade Medium 20. This concealer I used to be obsessed with. Part of why I don't love it so much anymore is I feel like it's actually a little bit too hydrating. It really does slip and slide around quite a bit. I like hydrating concealers that set down a little bit more than this. And this definitely doesn't set down. You have to set it with powder, otherwise it creases like crazy. But because we're using the Glossier Stretch foundation, might as well use the Stretch Concealer. And they definitely do complement each other nicely. I actually feel like the Stretch Concealer looks glowier than the foundation. I actually was worried that the foundation would be too similar to the Stretch Concealer and that it would be like the same issue where it's like too hydrating, too slippery, but it's not at all. For my bronzer, I'm just gonna pop on the Makeup by Mario Skin Enhancer in light medium. For blush, I took out one of my Glossier Cloud Paints. This is the shade Storm, one of my favorite shades, beautiful wine color. To apply cloud paints, I really like to work it in very well into a brush. With really any cream blush, if you don't work it into the brush that you're using to apply it, you can sometimes over apply it really easily because so much of the product is just sitting on top. So you really wanna make sure to just like rub the product into the brush before you put it onto your face, and you're just gonna get a lot more control that way. For my eyes, I'm gonna just keep it simple. I'm gonna use this brown eyeliner from Charlotte Tilbury and just line the outer corner of my eye just a little bit. This is the classic eye powder pencil in classic brown. Elia mascara. Okay, just finishing off with the lip. This is my Makeup by Mario lip pencil in the shade Hue. And I'm actually gonna put on a MAC lip gloss. I've not used the lip gloss in the longest time. This is the shade Spite. Oh yeah, that is a good color. I'm actually not gonna powder my face at all. I'm just gonna powder my under eyes. I'm gonna use my Kosas Cloud Set as per usual. And this really gorgeous rougher brush. There's actually no number on here, but I'll link it down below. It is so soft and the most beautiful powder brush. Oh, love it. So I'm just gonna set my under eyes and like my nose and center of my face with this. Just basically where I put that concealer. Really, really loving how everything's looking now that I have a full face of makeup on. I feel like things are looking even more perfected. There's almost like a smoothed appearance to my skin. I'm trying to think of something, you know, a little bit critical to say or something that I'm not loving so much at the moment, but there actually is nothing. Like, I really love everything that I'm seeing right now. So it's safe to say that if this continues as is, this is going to be a big success. But there's only one way to find out. We just got to sit through the day and see how this does actually wear. It does say that it's supposed to be a long wearing foundation, that it's sweat resistant, crease resistant, all that. So hopefully this should last really nicely throughout the day. We will see. So right now it is 10 a.m. I will check in with you guys in a couple hours to give you a little update and we will go from there. So see you guys then. Hey, Gus and Jamie here. Time to do a foundation update. Gus is very busy trying to destroy this wire. Let's not do that. No. All right, guys, it is close to 4 p.m., which means I've been wearing this foundation for a total of 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 hours. We are September 5th, but it feels like we're in the middle of July. It is like close to 40 degrees Celsius here in Montreal today. It is very, 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 very hot and humid. So actually a pretty great day to test out a foundation to see if it's sweat resistant and to see how well it lasts, especially in the heat. I was walking outside. I even changed what I was wearing because I got a little bit sweaty. And this is what my skin looks like from the result of that. There isn't much of a change. The only change that I noticed is that I am definitely glowier. Some of that is sweat for sure, but the good news is that it hasn't broken up the foundation. Nothing is like really fading or anything, despite me being sweaty. and glowier, it still looks really fantastic. Typically, if things don't go awry within the first 6 hours, we're in the clear. And I don't think anything's really gonna take a huge drastic turn as of right now. Everything's looking really smooth. There's no weird settling. Even in my smile lines, like everything just looks great. Very, very skin-like, still very perfected. Anyways, I'm feeling really, really good with this. This might just be on its way to becoming a new fave.
Guest says, stop talking about the foundation and talk about me, because I'm gorgeous.
So 10 hours of wear, a very sweaty day, 3 outfit changes later, and the foundation is still looking really awesome. The only part of my face that shows signs of wear is my chin. I feel like it's kind of wearing off just a little bit, but besides that, everything is worn super evenly. It pretty much looks exactly the same as it did from my last update that I showed you guys. So the claim where it says that it will look like it's fused with the skin rather than sitting on top of it, I agree. I think that's part of the reason why I am liking what I'm seeing so much. I just feel like my skin really just looks like skin, but better. It's made my skin just look so fresh and good, even 10 hours later. Now it's time to take it all off. I'm really happy that this product worked for me. This is definitely my favorite base product that Glossier has released. I should also mention this is also very different from the Glossier Skin Tint. The Glossier Skin Tint, it more so just adds like a layer of color all over the face rather than actual coverage. And a product like that definitely has its uses. It's not for everybody though. Something like this, I feel like a lot more people would be really into this. Like people who like light coverage foundations would like this. And then people who like more of a medium coverage product would also really like this. I almost feel that it's like a medium coverage product with a skin tint finish, feel, and texture. I think generally speaking, for more of like a drier normal skin type, you would love this, especially if you like something that is a little bit more dewy, that does kind of have a bit more of that like hydrated skincare like finish. It's perfect. If you have an oily skin type, I'm not sure. This might be a little bit too hydrating for people with very, very oily skin. I think you would definitely have to have a powder on hand, at least as you wear the product. I don't have oily skin. It's pretty much impossible for me to speak to that like fully and confidently, but that's just my educated guess. Let me know in the comments if anybody who does have oily skin has tried this and what their thoughts are. Overall, I really like the product. I think that was clear. I'm definitely going to start to incorporate it into my everyday routine as like my day-to-day foundation. It does remind me of the Chanel Le Beige tint. I feel like that's the most similar foundation that I've tried. It has a very similar way in which it wears. It also sits very similarly on the skin, the glow and the way that it kind of smooths the skin a little bit, but I kind of like this a little bit better. There hasn't been that many products from Glossier that have like truly blown me out of the water. I've enjoyed them, I've liked them, but I feel like this is the first one that I've tried that really does make me go wow. And that is it, guys. That's my first impression on the new Glossier Stretch Foundation. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it helpful. Let me know all of your thoughts on this product in the comments. Hit the thumbs up button if you did enjoy today's video, and subscribe if you want to see more videos from me, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.